You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
I'm back. Rodrance for Black and White Sports. Oh, the Tim Tebow hate train continues to roll on. This time led by Chris Sims, as there are rumors flying around, there's speculation flying around about how Urban Meyer may choose to use a player that he decided to bring into his team. A player that used to play for him and had a immense amount of success in his offense. This is turning into absolute lunacy from the mainstream media. And yes, Chris Sims, you're part of the mainstream media. You're on Pro Football Talk. You've got a podcast. Look, I like some of the stuff you've got to say about quarterbacks, particularly when it comes to rookies, okay? I've said Chris Sims has got an uncanny knack for hitting on rookies. And then he puts out these quarterback rankings that are straight trash when it comes to veterans. I'm sorry, but if you don't take wins and losses into account, what's the point? Isn't that the reason everybody is playing, is to get in the playoffs and win freaking championships? Isn't that the point? Isn't that the goal? Okay? Aaron Rodgers can look, be as talented, have the greatest arm talent in the world, greatest footwork, and all of this bullshit. But if he retires with one Super Bowl, then Chris Sims, number one quarterback of all time, or whatever he considers him, it doesn't mean much, does it? In the big scheme of historical things involving the NFL, Aaron Rodgers will be maybe a top, 15, top 12, top 10, maybe, quarterback. And Tom Brady and Joe Montana will still be number 1 and 2 on the top of the GOAT scale, okay? So, look, all of this stuff about arm angles and footwork and talent and arm talent, as people love to say, all of that's fine and dandy and great. But if you don't have intangibles, you don't have the leadership, you don't drive your teammates, and you don't win in the playoffs, and I can't tell you how many times Tom Brady overachieved with his offensive weapons around him and won Super Bowls, then what's the point of all these great quarterback rankings and everything? Well, number one, let's get to Tim Tebow, and they're calling it a conspiracy theory on the New York Post, but look, it's just a theory going around about how Tim Tebow may be used, and this just triggered the hell out of Chris Sims for whatever reason. If future Hall of Famer Drew Brees can share snaps with Taysom Hill, surely Trevor Lawrence can make room for Tim Tebow. At least that is what conspiracy theorists in the NFL are thinking when it comes to figuring out why Jaguars' Urban Meyer signed Tim Tebow to play tight end and learn a new position after not appearing in the NFL since 2012 with the Jets. By the way, Tim Tebow caught 2 touchdown passes in practice the other day from Trevor Lawrence at tight end. There are those in the league who think Urban Meyer is bringing Tebow in to play quarterback at a Taysom Hill role, according to ESPN's Diana Rossini, as she reported on Get Up, using him in the Wildcat package, as we've seen him, Urban Meyer, I guess see him be used by Urban Meyer in the past. Well, that would be a game changer because it would mean putting Tim Tebow on a 53-player regular season roster and not just the 90-player off-season roster when there are spots to spare for developmental projects. Despite the outrage in the corners of the NFL, it makes sense for Meyer to carry Tebow, one of his all-time favorite players from his national championship winning days at Florida, on the roster in the offseason to help set the culture. We have talked about this countless times, and be a translator between coaches and players from a business standpoint. And look, a lot of this has got to do with business. This was a great business move by the Jacksonville Jaguars. From a business standpoint of selling tickets, Tebow remains wildly popular in the Jacksonville area because of his college exploits. The Jaguars used the number 1 pick on Lawrence, who is considered one of the 4 greatest quarterback prospects of the last 40 years, with John Elway, Peyton Manning, and Andrew Luck. It is clear Lawrence is going to start. But if Meyer, an offensive innovator, thinks Tebow can still throw jump passes near the goal line, it would create an interesting wrinkle. Tebow was spotted running routes at tight end at Friday's OTA practices. Hill, Taysom, has 109 rushing yards and 306 receiving yards, 18 combined touchdowns over 4 seasons. He also played on special teams. But when Breeze was injured, he took over as starting quarterback, and now him and Jameis Winston are battling for the starting job down there. Okay? So, there's that. Then there is this. NFL analyst Chris Sims has a blunt message for Urban Meyer and Tim Tebow. It's safe to say NBC sports analyst Chris Sims is a bit skeptical about Tim Tebow's fit with Jacksonville. Let's just be honest. Look, Chris Sims has already made the dumb, ridiculous, moronic white privilege claim right there on Pro Football Talk. Mike Florio had to step in and say, no, Chris, this is not white privilege. Of all people, woke Mike Florio said no. ESPN's Diane Rossini reported, and we talked about that just now. I can't believe this is still a topic, okay? This is what Chris Sims said. Many say you can use Tim Tebow as Taysom Hill, which is true. But you can also use a running back who has decent throwing skills to do the same thing. Tebow is not nearly as gifted an athlete as Taysom, nor is it a recipe for success while grooming a young quarterback. And then he comes back again. He doubles down. I can't believe this is still a topic. The only reason you use Tebow in a Taysom Hill package is if you desperately want to get Tebow on the field for some reason. In his prime, he was never as athletic as Taysom Hill. Sims believes the real reason why Jaguars want to give Tebow a shot is because of his relationship with Urban Meyer. There are a lot of people on every team more qualified than Tebow to run a Taysom Hill package. The only reason we are having this discussion is because Urban has a spot in his heart that favors Tebow more than any other coach has favored a player in recent history. And I will continue to say a lot of that has got to do with what Tim Tebow can potentially bring to that team from a cultural standpoint. Look, Trevor Lawrence is extremely religious. He's already said him and Tebow are getting along great, that he loves having Tebow around. And let's just be real. When all the focus would normally be on your number 1 overall draft pick, and he was getting suffocated by all this media attention and media pressure, he won't be getting that. It will be on Tim Tebow, who has been through this before. You have literally just created a distraction that takes all the pressure off of your quarterback, your number 1 draft pick quarterback, and puts it on a guy that will be playing essentially tight end, H-back, fullback. And if you go look at Tim Tebow's per yardage rushing, it's as good as any running back for the most part. In short yardage situations, he's good for 4 to 5 to 6 yards. That's pretty damn good. That is pretty damn good. So if Urban Meyer wants to use Tim Tebow as an offensive weapon, what's the problem with that? What's the problem with that, Chris Sims? I mean, he knows that offense inside and out, for crying out loud. He knows everything there is to know about Urban's offense, and I'm sure him and Urban are on such the same page that Tebow and Urban can probably give each other a specific look during a game, and they both can come up with the same play that they want to run. Okay, you remember when we did blah? Versus Missouri? Yeah, I remember that. It'll work here. Let's run it. You get the point. There's little things that a coach and a quarterback or a tight end or whatever know between each other that can be an advantage during a football game. That's just a fact. That has always been a fact. Okay? So, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I mean, at this point, Chris Sims, there is something I watched the other day. There's something about Tim Tebow that just triggers the hell out of Chris Sims. I'm starting to feel like, are you mad because Tim Tebow is getting another shot and things didn't just go well after you hurt your spleen? I hate to go there, but I mean, I don't get it. I really don't get it. It doesn't make sense. I mean, it seems to be a little bit more personal for Chris Sims than it should be. I mean, what's the point in that? I mean, there's so many obvious lines you can draw between Meyer and Tim Tebow from an actual strategic, offensive-minded standpoint that's got nothing to do with the fact that he just wants him around because he's his bro, okay? But that's what Chris Sims has made this about. All right, and yeah, sure, Urban wants him around because he's familiar with him and he wants to help him establish culture. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Tell me what you think, black and white sports fans. Peace. I am out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.